So one of the questions I get a lot is, how do we receive feedback without getting defensive or getting triggered? So there are two key practices that I would offer to develop more the capacity to take in other people's feedback without taking it personally, without getting triggered, without having to push back. So the first is to take on practices that help you connect with your own goodness. There's a whole range of things that we can do to really feel rooted in our sense of innate goodness, basic goodness. So whether it's through loving kindness meditation, doing metta practice for yourself, offering yourself kindness and good wishes, and really practicing taking it in and feeling a sense of love and warmth and friendliness towards yourself. That's one way. Another way is really reflecting on the goodness of your intentions. So getting to know your own heart and being clear about our intentions, which we know is distinct and different from the effect or the impact of our actions. And yet, when we're clear about our intentions, when we know what our intentions are and we trust their goodness, it's that much easier to hear about the effect or the impact of our actions because we're not questioning our own integrity. We know where we're coming from, and that's clear, so we feel rooted in that. Another practice for connecting with goodness is to just reflect on your connection with nature. Really contemplate how we are not separate from the natural world, and that all of us, every human, every creature, every plant, deeply belongs here. And the more we feel that sense of belonging and deep connection with the natural world, again, a piece of feedback, something someone is displeased with or doesn't like, doesn't threaten us because we feel so deeply connected and rooted. So this is the first area to develop and build capacity in, is a sense of confidence in our own heart, feeling connected, belonging, and trusting our own goodness. Now, sometimes that's not enough, and the second practice to be able to take in feedback without getting defensive or reactive, or at least reducing the chances of getting defensive, is to develop a deep appreciation for the value of feedback. The more we understand how essential feedback is to our own learning and growth, not only the less reactive we'll be, but actually the more interested and solicitous we'll be of other people giving us feedback. You can't see the back of your own head, right? We need other people to tell us what we can't see. Otherwise, we don't learn. So there's an old Buddhist story about this, saying, what's more valuable to you if someone came to you and said, you can have, $5 million, all of these riches, or someone who can see clearly and point out all of your faults and shortcomings. Which would you choose? Which is more valuable to you? Hard question. The true practitioner who's really interested in freeing their heart, in liberating the mind and consciousness from suffering, is interested in that reflection of where are the places I'm stuck, because that's what's going to free us. So when we know how valuable feedback is, we recognize it's more precious than gold, the more fully we recognize this, the more open we are to feedback. So when someone comes to us and says, hey, I have some feedback for you, or I'd like to tell you about something, the response can be, thank you, great, I'm all ears. What is it I need to learn? Please tell me. What is it I'm not seeing? Otherwise, if no one tells me, I'll never learn. It's like that old saying of, a good friend is someone who points out that you have something in your teeth. If we can't see our own teeth unless we're looking in the mirror, so we could walk through the whole day with a big piece of something in our teeth. And that feedback is a gift. It's someone telling us, hey, you might want to just check you've got something there. So we all go around sometimes doing and saying things that are not so becoming, and many people can see, but we might not be aware of it. So someone coming to us and holding up a mirror and saying, hey, you might want to look at this. It's probably not where you want to be coming from or how you want to be coming across to people, rather than it challenging or threatening us, can be, oh, wow, Oh, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't know that was there. Now, the last piece here, which comes up regularly with feedback, is, well, what if it's not my stuff? What if it's all the other person's projection? So of course, we need to take feedback in with a grain of salt. We use our own wisdom. But the piece that I'm really trying to speak to here is that defensiveness and resistance or getting triggered, which makes it impossible to take in the feedback and often leads to more tension and conflict. So when that trigger and feedback isn't there, because we trust our own heart's goodness, because we recognize the value of the feedback, we can listen openly. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And then reflect on it. Go ahead and look in the mirror and see, okay, what's true there? What really connects with me? Or ask for counsel from others. And the pieces that connect, that are true, then we take those in, we work on those. And the pieces that don't seem to land, it's like, I don't think I'm doing that, or I don't think that's mine, then we just leave it aside. We don't have to take that on. So I hope this is helpful in developing more capacity to be able to hear and take in feedback.